New York City parents are demanding that schools open now.
Like they should never be closed. This 3% metric is arbitrary, it's anti-science.
And the city's own testing data backs her up. Out of more than 140,000 COVID tests among teachers and students since mid-October, just
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here at our town hall. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everybody is doing well. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, very good to see everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. We've come to the point in the semester where we have 4 Fridays left. 4 Fridays left. It's exciting, and we're now ready to get ready for winter term and for spring. So today is a general town hall for information, connection, and questions. What I will do is ask a few people on the call to give some updates, and these are COVID-related updates based on their position and what they've been doing at the college. And so I know that you all know that Dana Trimboli has been serving as the my chief of staff and interim vice president of advancement. I will be asking she and Claudio. Claudio is also serving as the COVID liaison. So Dana is the COVID liaison, I'm sorry, and Claudio is the COVID coordinator. And then after Dana and Claudio, I will probably ask Earl Simons to say just a little bit about our government relations and what's going on in the community and updates on anything regarding testing. And then we'll do some question and answer. I know that we have a couple of people who have questions about distinct things on the campus. I want to welcome again our new executive director of facilities. I hope that you all have been able to meet him, and he's been making the rounds and giving facilities updates to many. If you have not invited him to a department meeting or to speak to your team or to have coffee virtually, please try to do so when you have a chance. I also want to be sure that I remind the group and the campus that I am in the process with the cabinet and others of developing a strategic enrollment management conversation and group to look at strategic enrollment management. So we will be giving an update on that to the campus, along with the fact that I have been working on a president's commission for equity, diversity, and inclusion, and reaching out to the appropriate groups to get stakeholders to serve on both of those groups. So I think that work is moving on. As I remind people, because there's only 4 Fridays left, anything that you wanted to get done this semester, you have to get it done like yesterday. It's crazy. I hope that you all also have been sharing with the students that we have resources to support them in the area of mental health, of course, food and housing insecurity as it relates to using our food bank and that. And we have had a very helpful emergency funding program that came out of some of the advancement work that I know that Dana will probably speak about a little bit. So we have been trying to make sure that people know who to call if they need help. They understand the protocol for getting that assistance, and that people understand that we have a COVID liaison and a COVID coordinator on campus, that we have continued with the work of academic continuity and trying to keep things moving along. Most of the stakeholders on campus have been going to their regular meetings with all of their different groups and been reporting back. So I think as best we can in this COVID reality, we have been trying our best to communicate as much as we can. Thank you for those of you all who attended the Friends of York advancement event yesterday. The event was very much so for appreciation of our donors, friends, right? Friend raising and fundraising. It was really for us to acknowledge the work that people have been doing in helping us shore up the infrastructure for advancement and fundraising. What I've been sharing with people in several places is that I am hoping to grow the infrastructure of advancement from a toddler to a teenager. That's my hope, right? Because we have great opportunity at York to be fundraising at a different level, to potentially have different level of sponsorship from corporations and local organizations. And we continue to try to figure out how to have the infrastructure to do that. I know that you all got a update around food services in one of our other town halls. The university does now have a new food vendor for the full university, and we are in the first wave of that work. When that physical work is able to be done on campus, we will then be able to have a new food vendor and then be in that first wave of having, when we return on campus, to having food on campus and a new vendor at that time. So I will continue to ask Ishmael Perez to give you all those updates when he's in different meetings with you all. I want to thank and acknowledge Lori Hefner for her ongoing work on making sure that we stay afloat around middle states and the institutional effectiveness work, in particular because there have been some hoops for us to jump through during COVID around accreditation that make this situation very different. And she had to be very much on top of it and helping us stay accountable to do that. So thank you, Lori, and to her team and to her staff. I'm very, 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 very appreciable. Jonathan, thank you. I want to acknowledge all the work that you've done with keeping our food bank going. It's very important that is going on even in the midst of this. I appreciate you and thank you for the work of you and the students that work with the food bank. And we did have a very generous donation of some PPE facilitated by Dr. Jean Phelps. Jean, thank you so much. I appreciate you. There's never enough PPE. So I'm not gonna, when you said somebody was gonna give it to us, I said, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I don't know what magic you worked to make it happen, but I'm very happy that we have extra and that there's no concern about us having masks because we had a very generous donation that was facilitated by Dr. Phelps. I want to be sure that I don't leave anybody off. I try to thank all the people, so I'll be coming back in here and there in the conversation to make sure, particularly because we are in the season of gratitude. My whole goal is to make sure that I'm acknowledging all of the hard work that you all are doing and being as specific as I can with everyone about what a great job you are doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So Dana, we'll start with you, and then Claudio, if you don't have updates, just be sure you text me or put it in the chat. And after that, Earl, are you ready? You'll do a little something for me. Is that okay? Thumbs up? All right, and then we'll go from there. Thank you so much.
So on behalf of Claudio and I we want to thank everyone for your continued commitment to ensuring everyone's safety when they are on campus. So there's a few things that have been happening. When it comes to the Everbridge app, there were some concerns about folks using Android phones and having some technical glitches with it. And over the past few weeks, the Everbridge product managers have been really working to resolve those glitches. The members of the community have been really great about being a lot more careful about their app use. So we have much less folks who are accidentally putting something in, resulting in them having to jump through some hoops to make sure that they're safe and can come back to campus. So we thank everyone for really paying attention when you're doing the app, because it's really easy for it to go wrong quickly. The Chancellor and his team have put out some messaging today, and you'll see some similar messaging coming out from us over the next few days. He is encouraging everyone to stay safe over these holiday seasons that we are celebrating. We know that in many areas, including the New York City area, COVID is on the rise. Yesterday, there was some talk about New York City even being designated an orange area, which is a level above yellow. There was some conversation this morning, I understand, on the mayor's press conference about possibly closing indoor dining again. And so the Chancellor's messaging and our messaging is really to continue doing the things that you've been doing, to keep your 6 feet distance when you're out, to mask up, to try to stay within your bubble unit of folk that you know to be safe and that you're with consistently. And we're going to be sending out some reminders that if folks do make the choice to travel, either over the Thanksgiving holiday or the Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa holidays, you have to remember that there are state restrictions and then there are CUNY restrictions as well. So folks will have to make some choices, but if you are traveling outside, give me 1 second, because there's some states on here: New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Vermont, and Pennsylvania and Massachusetts are currently in this group that it is okay to travel. But I want to be really clear that that's today, right? By next week, those lists can change a little bit. So everyone needs to really be aware of what is on the New York State COVID websites around travel advisories. And as a reminder that when you do come back to campus, if you are someone who is on campus on a regular basis, you are going to be asked through the app if you have traveled. And it's really important that you pay attention to those questions and what you might be asked and make decisions. We certainly are not here to tell folks what to do in their personal lives, but we want people to be aware as they're making choices about their travel and engagement over the next month or so, that you may find yourself having to do some things as a result of that travel. So we just plan to share that information over and over again so that you can make an educated decision about how you make your choices, right? And then just as a reminder about protocols about coming to campus, right? So folks that are teaching this semester, students who are in classes, folks who are on campus on a regular basis, like our essential staff, you're continuing to do the Everbridge app and you're getting your temperature taken as you come to campus. For those of you who supervise staff or yourself who want to come to campus to maybe pick up some belongings or to get something out of your office or to get some materials, or maybe you're like me and realized half of my winter shoes were sitting under my desk and I needed to get those. But if you need to do some of those things, just as a reminder, there is a protocol piece online on the COVID website. You'll need to ask for permission to come to campus. That goes to public safety. This is if you're not a regular comer to campus, right? And that's really because we have to make sure that the numbers, if 40 people decide they want to come to campus one day to pick up materials from their office, that doesn't really work for us. So that's our way of making sure that the numbers stay safe. If you haven't been to campus, you'll also need to do your Blackboard training, which is a very short, I think it's a 10 to 12 minute video. And you will also be subject to doing the Everbridge app and getting your temperature taken. I know it seems like a lot just to come to campus and maybe pick up some things, but your safety and the safety of everyone on campus is always our priority. We also, when we have cases or questions about folks who have traveled or who think they may have been exposed or who have particular situations, Claudio and I are really grateful to CUNY for working with us. If we have a case that we're not sure what the quarantine or what the disposition sort of that situation should be, we've been working with the Department of Health and we've been working with our contacts at CUNY so we can make sure that we make decisions about folks' entry to campus that ensures everyone's safety. So Claudio, I don't know if you have some other pieces that you want to add to that. I know Claudio's been working to really get some signage and visual things up on campus. So I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you, Dana. Let me start by letting you know that if you're not aware, every month we have what I like to call a friendly audit from our environmental at central office. This is done by the executive director of environmental, and he visits every campus. And we just have this past Friday, we have our third visit. He points out things that needs to be corrected, suggestions, things that other campuses are doing and may not be required, but may be a good idea. And I can report that we are in good shape. We have the signage that is required. We have all the information, including how the access to the campus is being managed, and we are in full compliance. What we are doing at this point is increasing the signage, is increasing the communication to our faculty and staff, as well as to students. So and the focus is basically to reduce the traffic into campus and contain the traffic. that happens on campus. So the students that come to our campus, they don't need to wander around. They stay in the area where they need to go. We order additional labels that can be customized, and thank you, Dana and your team. Kenny did a great job in customizing the signage, and we're gonna start printing this week. And it's gonna be signage that is branded with your college colors and information that is regarding to your college, instead of just a generic sign. Um, I want to thank also Alex and Kashi for the great work that they have been doing all across, responding to those that feedback that we have been receiving, and just wanted to let you know that all this is proactive and work that we are doing. We're trying to be consistent, and the goal is to keep our faculty, our staff, and mainly our students safe. That's all I have.
Thank you, Claudio. Uh, a good afternoon, everyone. Just a couple of things. Um, One is I want to point out that what the mayor and the governor is saying now is it's not if we move to an orange zone, but it's when we move to an orange zone, because it is predicted based on the way the numbers are going. It is going to reach 3%. So we just have to get ready, and I'm sure you're going to hear more about it later. But we just want to ask everyone to be careful during Thanksgiving holidays, because the governor is already predicting a spike in positive uh, coronavirus cases after the Thanksgiving holiday. We continue to work with the surrounding local community-based organizations and elected officials around the new developments as it relates to the impact of the virus, and other changes in government that impact the college. There's construction and renovation that is happening around the college in terms of improvements on Archer Avenue and some other areas. And so they are keeping us abreast. We are aware of it because while the streets are clear, or at least clearer, some of the work that needed to get done is happening close to the campus. Secondly, what I'm going to place in the chat for everyone is the link so that you will have it, because right now there are 10 COVID-19 coronavirus testing sites walking distance from the campus, with additional sites that are close, as well as mobile units that are moving around. And those are increasing daily and weekly. So you will have not only the sites in Queens, but you will be able to put in, based on your address, where sites are located close to you. So if you choose and you want to go and get tested at any point, you will have access to the sites around the city. And then thirdly, and lastly, I just want to point out that the conversations that are happening now, there's a lot of testing sites around the city and throughout the state. But what residents are now asking some elected officials, when it's safe, and I'm underlining when it's safe, the process is approved, they want to make sure that the vaccine is accessible. And so in one town hall meeting I attended this week, residents asked, would York College be a location where it would be easily accessible for residents to get access to the vaccine? So we've moved from the conversation around testing sites to now people are considering access to vaccine sites. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. And that's it, President. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask anybody that has any questions, please put them in the chat. That's very helpful. I appreciate that. If there's anyone else, I want to also please thank again and again our essential workers. Thank you, Chief Messiah and your team. Thank you to the facilities team for being there. Thank you for all that you're doing. We appreciate you for being there every day and doing everything that you're doing to keep our campus safe and clean. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are a small but mighty group in Town Hall today. I know that in the past we've had about 100 people sometime. I think we're probably about 40 or so. People have gotten used to having Town Hall. I don't want it to be a waste of you all's time, but I do want to have the access for people to ask questions, but also be in community with each other, because we're not together and we can't just walk across the hall to each other's offices. So it is not our goal to waste anybody's time. It's just for us to make sure that we have a space to get together and to make sure that we have the updates of what's going on. Anybody else have a question or a comment, an update, a concern? I think that everybody's exhausted. That's why it's 4 Fridays. That's what happens when it's this time of the year. We're officially about to get the fatigue, the COVID holiday fatigue, which is even worse. So let's see. I think, I don't know. Does anybody else have any questions or updates? I don't want to. I think the greatest concern about what we're about to witness now is a combination of the winter weather and the holidays, the collision of both of them, people having to fight against wanting to gather, and of course the winter weather. The numbers up north and west are quite higher than here, and they had snow yesterday or day before yesterday, at least where I used to live in Clinton, New York. I was talking to my old assistant, and there were huge snowflakes coming down out of the sky. They were just huge. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the thank you. I do. Can't wait till we can be back together. I miss everybody. We all miss each other. It's not easy. Thank you, Margaret.
I'm going to make another shameless plug for Day of Giving.
Go ahead.
Please make sure that you're following us on social media so that you can see some of the information that we've been sharing, some of the videos, some of the graphics, some of the data. We really want to educate folks about why giving to York is important. As a reminder, you can give prior to December 1st. The website is open. We have raised over $20,000 at this point towards Day of Giving. We are on the road to 50. I really hope that we can get there. You can do a one-time donation. We've had lots of folks who have been sort of hearing what we've been talking about in terms of payroll deductions. Payroll deductions doesn't have to be $100 a paycheck. It doesn't have to be $50. It could be $5 a paycheck. And at the end of the year, that's a meaningful gift of about $130. So that's an option too for people to consider. We know it's difficult times and people's situations and their families and their finances may be impacted by COVID. So we want to be mindful of that as well. But you could be an ambassador. That's the best way that you can help us at this point. Please share what you're seeing on social media, spread the word about York, spread the word about Day of Giving. It's really important to us that the word is out there about York. So thank you again.
All right, others, anyone else?
President?
Yes.
For the good of the body, on the news today, it was announced that Zoom is going to allow just on Thanksgiving Day, those who would get Zoom for free for 40 minutes, they're going to have it basically, I believe it said unlimited service for that day. So for those family members who will be Zooming, that's just another way to encourage families to be able to connect via Zoom throughout the day for those who have the free service.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, and I did say something earlier about mental health, housing and food insecurity, and technology. I didn't add that. I just want to be sure that if there are any other students that are in need of technology assistance, that you forward them to the website and or let Dana or Claudio know. We just have to spread that word because we don't want anybody else out there having a problem with remote learning because they do not have the technology. That is very important. And I know from semester to semester, we didn't expect we would do this another semester. So we don't know who we missed. That's all I'm concerned about, that we're assuming everybody's fine and they may not be. And I don't want that. I think does that sound right, Claudio? Go ahead on that.
Yes, President, on that subject, we are still shipping devices to students' home. Most of the time lately, I'm talking about within the last week and this week, have been students that either had problems with their devices, broken devices, and we are replacing them. Very, very common. I have partnered with other campuses, and they are seeing a surge on broken screens and things of that nature. And again, it happens. There's nothing that we can do about that. And we are going to have additional announcements sent out throughout this week, just to make sure that students that are having any issue with their technology, we can still address it. And then at the beginning of the winter, in preparation for the spring semester, we're going to start a new campaign to distribute more devices. We still have devices available for students, faculty, and staff, and this includes hotspots for Wi-Fi.
Okay, thank you for that, Claudio. Okay, well, it seems like everybody's okay, and we don't have very many students today, so I don't think. Do we have any students on the call? On the town hall? Oh, wait, let me take that back. I think I may see a few. Any student questions? I just want to be sure. You put them in the chat, or, okay. All right, it's reasonable for everybody to be exhausted. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. I just want to be sure we have a space to check on each other. All right, so, okay, other than not being able to have our wonderful Thanksgiving celebration that our students usually have, that really kicks off the holiday. So I think that they also are kind of struggling with how to do their thing. So if you know any student leaders, just give them the support you can, because it's a real loss for them to not be able to have that meal for us in the atrium. It's a real loss. So they have quite a few COVID losses that they're trying to digest. So anything that we can do to support them, please let me know if there's something I'm missing. All right, Dana, I may be gifting people some time back to their lives.
I think we have two more quick shout outs.
Okay.
We want to just acknowledge late and now, but in person, we want to acknowledge Larry Eaton and our student veterans on campus, as well as our faculty and staff who have served and who continue to serve our country through the armed forces. We were able to do, Marcia and her team did a great interview with Valerie Taylor Haslip about her service and her family's service. And so we appreciate that sharing. And we're sorry that obviously we weren't able to do something in person, but that we were excited to be able to do that. So thank you again, Larry and the York College veterans.
All right, thank you. I want to be sure that we are also thanking our counseling center staff and all of the health center as they have had to do all the good work of supporting our students. Okay. All right, I think I checked the chat. I'm checking one last time. All right, so we definitely have, I think, done as good of a job as we could to pivot to this COVID reality. And I want to, again, thank you all for all your hard work and your dedication and your flexibility, as it is hard to get to know a new president in COVID. And I was just getting started being able to see your faces every day and all that kind of stuff. So I feel, oh, Latoro has an update, I think. Go ahead. I think Claudio has to unmute.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Had an angel whisper in my ear. I would be remiss not to talk about winter enrollment. The process is up. The website is up. Also, thank you to Derek. He had noticed something about the link, but although it may, when you click on it, it may not show winter. Once students start to navigate, they will see the ability to sign up for winter courses. So please, as you talk to students that may be in your class or different departments, let them know about winter registration. And there's a news blast that will be going out bi-weekly. So just thank you for everyone for the support.
Okay, fantastic. Anyone else? All right, well, Scott said, I saw him happy when I was ready to gift everybody some extra time. Time is valuable. Happy Thanksgiving to those and everyone who celebrates, and prepare yourself for a wonderful COVID holiday the best you can. All right, and stay healthy, stay safe. All right, see you later. Thank you.